In the SEC, losses are inevitable, but some can derail a season. Arkansas learned that the hard way, suffering a brutal defeat to conference worst South Carolina. The Razorbacks had been climbing the bracket, picking up key wins against Kentucky and Missouri. But after shooting a miserable 28.8% from the field and 13.6% from three, they tumbled back toward the bubble with a damaging loss. It wasn't just the defeat, it was the way it happened. Arkansas trailed by as much as 35 points before making the final score somewhat respectable. A team with high expectations now finds itself fighting for its tournament life. While Arkansas fell, Georgia soared. The Bulldogs had been fading from the tournament picture, but turned things around with a dominant win over Texas. They controlled the game from the start, building a lead that stretched to 27 points. That win, combined with an earlier Quad 1 victory over Florida, has Georgia surging up the bracket, winning the battle against fellow SEC bubble teams. North Carolina, meanwhile, is doing precisely what it needs to do. The Tar Heels efficiently handled Miami for their fifth straight win. While none of those victories were imposing, they avoided bad losses while other teams faltered. With the chaos surrounding the bubble, North Carolina is inching closer to a secure spot. A looming showdown with Duke could determine their final fate. Xavier seized a big opportunity, delivering a statement win over Creighton. The Musketeers had built their resume by beating weaker teams, but Saturday's 22-point victory over one of the Big East's best was exactly what they needed. It wasn't a Quad 1 win, but an eye-catching performance that the selection committee can't ignore. Indiana also continued its climb, winning its third straight game with a strong performance against Washington. Just 2 weeks ago, the Hoosiers looked out of the tournament conversation. They are on the verge of crashing the projected field, proving that momentum matters in March. Oklahoma wasn't as fortunate. The Sooners let a winnable game against Mississippi slip away, surrendering a go-ahead 3 in the final seconds. It marked their second straight loss and seventh in the last 8 games. With a brutal 4-12 record in SEC play, Oklahoma's tournament hopes are slipping away fast. Texas also continued to spiral. The Longhorns had a golden opportunity to solidify their standing but fell flat against Georgia. A 3-game losing streak, including losses to South Carolina and Arkansas, has sent Texas down the bracket. Time is running out to recover. Nebraska's collapse was just as painful. The Cornhuskers blew a late lead against Minnesota, suffering their first Quad 3 loss. Once in position for a single-digit seed, Nebraska is on the verge of falling out of the field entirely. With Selection Sunday approaching, the margin for error is gone.